in front of the mysterious pit that appeared everywhere. From the ground, countless monsters suddenly came up. Not even guns and bullets. Kill it. In just 1 month, 95% of children. The one who has been burned. But the strange thing is that the monster never now set foot at an altitude of 2. Therefore, only those above. That's how lucky they are to survive. It's been 3 years since the monster disaster happened. A group of survivors residing in the Frontland Mountains have a very high altitude, surrounded by famous lines to remind people not to be risked over. Because when going below the altitude of 2 they will be attacked by monsters. Just like that, people gradually died, suspicious of life here. Of which there is I am a chicken against raising children. But don't tease your son. He had lung disease again. Living in the same neighborhood. A scientist is Nina. She is still constantly researching round-the-clock ammunition. I hope to be able to counterattack one day. But the ammunition is still not possible. Through the monsters? At this time, my son's illness. Wynn suddenly carried a heavy load again. But the medical equipment on the mountain has run out. Not enough to sustain the boy's life. So when this is out, a bold idea. The next day he went to Nina's house. Asked her to go down the mountain with me. To go to a nearby hospital to get medicine. Sustain the life of his son. Because Nina was the only one who ever went down the mountain and returned alive. So he needs her help. Moreover, he just found out. Get a path through the mine. They just have to go under the road. Named twice? That Nina can take that opportunity too. About his old lab. Hearing that, Nina immediately agreed. Because all her relatives has fallen under the hands of monsters. Taking this opportunity, she had to find a way. Eradicate it and avenge his family. The next day, Wynn handed over his son to a close neighbors take care of. Then go to the store to buy. Add a few steel bullets. But Wynn didn't expect that his friend Kathy. When he heard the news of his descent into the mountains, I was not at ease. So I also wanted to go with him. Life on the run, all day, made Kathy bored. She lets go of the monster meat. I also don't want to live forever like this. All the way Wynn just let her follow. Just like that, the 3 of them started the free. The journey is full of dangers. Very quickly they came to the precept line. Nina has a watch invented by her. Nearby monsters can be detected through biomagnetic fields. After carefully observing the watch, I don't see anything ordinary. 3 people who have just crossed the street, safety zone separators, officially entered the monster's territory. On the way, the 3 of them had a chance to. There is a battlefield. Quickly searched for useful supplies. Very quickly Wynn was collected. A green launcher. Read, give it to Kathy. At this moment, Nina also found shards out monsters on the ground. After seeing nothing else, they continued to go on their way. In 3 years man disappeared. The area has long been stopped by the fraud. Occupation animals. Very quickly, 3 people arrive. Get where the cable car is. Just start it, and they can move forward. Up the mountainside, back to a safe height. But at this time, Nina suddenly, the watch is currently rotating rapidly. It was indeed a rushing monster, as if flying towards them. Saw that Wynn quickly climbed the board. Cable car start test control. And Nina and Kathy try, holding on to monsters. But, because it has been, do not use the cable car, can't start forever. But, the monster is getting more and more. The closer you get, the closer you get. Seeing this, Kathy immediately launched out a grenade. Although the big explosion was direct, destroying everything around. But it does not make the monster stupid. Even that makes it angry. Angry as a name towards them. Fortunately, in a critical time, Wynn was. Successful cable car start. The 2 of them quickly climbed up there. But, at this time, the distance of view. Kathy is too far away. That, monsters are still catching. Feet up she chases. Seeing that, Wynn quickly cried out. She climbed the pillar's neck. At the same time, he tried to fall. Slow down the monster's footsteps. Very quickly, the cable car advanced. Close to Kathy. She immediately accepted the opportunity. Ventured to jump up. Fortunately, Wynn was able to grab it in time. Took Kathy to save her life. But, monsters are not medium. It just hooked and clawed at the yarn. The cable causes the rope to break in half. The 3 of them are also, because of that, directly falling to the ground. But, luckily the area is safe. Is right in front of you. The 3 of them went to like it. The buttocks run up. As a result, he successfully escaped. Tighten gloves. At night, the three of them find a house in the safe rest area. They are not yet overwhelmed by the appearance of the monster in the morning. Nina also began to feel doubts about human life. Why do monsters only kill? Does not eat human flesh. Not only that, monsters, no need to sleep, as if they were born only to destroy humans. After resting all night, the three of them quickly go to the abandoned cilantro cellar. Although this place has an altitude of over 2,000 dm. But Nina found out, deep in the tunnel, there is a section lower than the safe height that her watch doesn't. Underground operations. Therefore, there will be no warning. The appearance of monsters. Moreover, they live underground, can detect human through the smallest CO2 concentration. If they are in cilantro, it only takes a breath. Breathing lightly will also reveal the location. But now there is no way back. So, the three of them went inside. After walking for a while, they, desperate to find out, the access to the hospital is locked. There's only one way left to get there. But they will have to go down. Altitude below 2,000 dm. The three of them took all the courage to defend the Eastie. According to the reproach that goes downwards, they speed up to pass through the danger zone. Suddenly Katie feels something in the back. The three immediately covered the lights on the top of his head. Indeed, a red shadow has right ahead. The three of them immediately squeezed their legs on the bridge and ran. But their speed is basically can be compared to monsters. So they just had to hide temporarily into a narrow slit. Then they fired like rain, but nothing, causing the monster to suffer any damage. Nina asks everyone to cut the lights, then began to hold their breath. Indeed, the monster immediately, i.e. lose the goal, but it still refuses to give up immediately. Wangshu went out to visit. Seeing that, the original quickly just impressed, out of firecracker, successfully attract the attention of monsters. Taking that opportunity, the three of them immediately crawled forward with difficulty. But the monster seemed to see through. Their purpose disappeared. Wait until Katie has just managed to escape. The monster was already waiting behind, and so Katie was immediately dragged away by it. Witnessing that scene, the two of them, the rest are extremely miserable, but ran out of ways to suppress it. The grief quickly climbed the ladder. In the end, the two became, leaving the mine. Very quickly, they came, an abandoned farm. Here Huyen discovered the car can still work. Moreover, there is a lot of food in the house. That night, the two of them fought together, a full meal. Nina also revealed that she wanted to go back to the room. Old experiment to get Ghost Z. It turned out that after many days of studying her, discovered of monsters, impenetrable by conventional weapons, but can chemically react with Ghost Z. The next day, the two of them drove the car home. The small town is not far away. The sound of their cars caused the flood, horses fleeing and scattering. Not long after the last two, also convenient to the hospital. This place had soon become a chaotic dream. The two of them don't have much time. Quickly search for drugs. But at this moment, the watch in the hand, Nina, suddenly turned frantically. Proves that the monster is nearby. The two of them didn't dare to just postpone it any longer. After taking the medicine, they immediately, the golden basket ran out. But the monster has come here. Countless tentacles pierce each of them. In a panic, the two of them only ran to the rooftop. But at this moment, Win was unexpectedly. A tentacle sweeps. In a critical situation, Nina picked it up. The kite in the piece box, although that doesn't hurt it. But in the final panic, it dropped Win. However, now they don't. I can still escape. Luckily, Win saw the side gas cylinders. This side came up with a good idea. Wait for the monster to approach. He quickly shot at the gas tank on duty. Continue to sing and throw it out. Seeing the monster lying unconscious on the ground, Nina suddenly felt a little hopeful. It seems that these monsters must be invincible. Then Win also kept his word, waiting for Nina to come to the lab, to the place where Win is in charge of guarding the surroundings. And Nina quickly tried to combine maze with other reagents, then smeared on the bullet and fired. But the monster's skin is even without the slightest sharpness. See no more time Win sex. Nina quickly got out of here. However, she wanted to continue to stay, to conduct experiments. Then Nina also asked Win to go first. It turned out that her car was nearby. If the experiment continues to fail, he will drive away by himself. Seeing that, Win didn't stop anymore. Because you still have to hurry up, back to his son. But regardless of Nina, how to adjust the scale. Cannot penetrate the skin of monsters. While she fell into despair, the monster was also approaching, just at the time to see the precious evil jar on the side. Nina sighed as enlightened. She quickly added more cobalt into the reagent, and then smear it on the bullet. On the other hand, when Win is taking the car back, then the car will explode again, making the car keep overturning. Win tries his best to, smashing the windshield. But this is also attractive. Monster attention? Anai saw that Win just ran away, belonging to the side of the mountain. That monsters are still chasing, killing and swallowing incessantly. Fortunately, at this time the altitude is 2000 mm, was right in front of me. But Win didn't even have time to rejoice. Monsters have shaved on all sides. He could only try to shoot. But also, just like every electric pole with them, as soon as Win thinks he will be sure. Fortunately, Nina tested the 4 and promptly respond. She gently shot down the monsters one by one. Make them like that. The flesh is crushed and the dew melts. But when the two looked at each other, the ruins of the monster, they were surprised to find it not biology, but the machines used by the aliens, refined by advanced technology. Why they don't need to eat or sleep. That are only programmed to destroy the Siri people, and not exceeding the altitude of 2000 em. In the end, the two became calm. Returned to the village. Win was also reunited with his son. Nina quickly raised the pirate flag. Neighboring communities have seen, signaling that they have succeeded. Kill monsters and prepare for a major counteroffensive. Everyone is trying to make out special bullets. All of them come together to reclaim the homeland of mankind. So the movie is over.
If you love movies as much as we do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, share it with fellow film fans, and drop your hot takes in the comments.